Saturday Showdown, T1 deck, Genji Esports.
Okay. So completely changes what this composition does, but is in theory a really strong matchup. So the 1v1 at least, a lot of confidence being shown here by Frog.
We'll see whether that is what's going to work out or whether they're just going to get ran over from the start of this draft. I'm very excited to see how it's going to go, though, as we jump into the rift for game number 1.
I'm always happy to see experimentation, particularly when it comes to the jungle champions. I feel like there is a lot of spaces. Yehu's Tristana thus far, unfortunately, not too convincing. That's a lot of
not hitting all the creeps, but
yeah.
Sometimes you don't need to hit all the creeps to have a good time. If you're also just not going to give over a bunch of kills, it's okay. That is going to be the red just stolen away by Sponge. Very nicely done.
Wants to just give those over.
And okay. In goes Pleta. Does find the headbutt back onto Polo, but Polo is Rakan, and so he can battle dance or grand entrance or do any of his buttons.
But it's also just Sponge, like going for the early invade, showing his face top, as we might have a jungle scuffle here.
Yeah, a little bit of a snafu perhaps, but it is just going to be the blue buff stolen away. That is the second buff that Sponge has been able to remove. 66 to 40. This is not exactly like. Even Peanut was able to stay ahead by a massive amount of farm as Teddy going to absorb a whole bunch of buttons here as the heal had already gone down from Polo. Arrow going to be flashed there by Polo. And Sponge just going to push them away. A lot of pressure here by DRX.
We'll see if they're going to contest, but I think the heal's been invested. They used the ultimate of Samver. That's a lot of power not there right now. Still have the culling though.
Yep, they have level 6 on Young Jay as well. His Dragon Descent will be available. But
yeah, I think you let it go.
Not looking like they're going to be able to get towards this dragon. So no free resists for the Shyvana.
Yeah, that also applies to DRX, who did not go for simple.
Whoa, Samba just going to throw an ulti into Teddy's face. And the double up also going to get a fair bit of work done. Nicely done there. And that time is not now. It's just not yet. As top outer turret is going to be taken. It will be traded immediately, but first turret blood going over to DRX is certainly good news for them. Should be another charge as well to come through as Morgan looking to pick up the at least last hit on Shelly. Just going to have her eye poked a little.
Might have cursed it.
Cursed it or blessed it, Chronicler? Which way is... Oh my goodness, that is a big old dragon! And yep, yeah, who's going to be taken down? That is Fate picking up first blood. Young Jay getting a well-needed assist. So the Shyvana's ready to go once again.
Very angry. Yeah, is Young Jay full of fury.
Well, speaking of which, as that's going to be a great interrupt as the arrow is going to sail by. Pleta slowed down as Samba doing a fair bit of work, strutting his stuff down here towards DRX as Morgan's Narbar is looking gorgeous. And we'll be able to get to Mega Gnar as Young Jay is almost just dead before the fight has even started. The poke comp working out in this moment. DRX just need a bit of extra time. Of course, in a lot of these fights, seen much from Fate for the last little while. And
okay,
the poke
Brian,
is just sort of landing. Yeah,
go.
This is the problem.
Oh, Young Jay used his ult as well.
Yeah.
Once that time's out, you become you're not a dragon anymore. You're just Shyvana, and that's not what you want to be. They're gonna go in.
You've really got to start hitting some things. As I do like the Astalos skin. It's actually kind of dope. As okay, Arrow this time is going to connect onto Fate. There's the flash pulverize, and Fate's just going to be taken out. Morgan trying to do his best as the quickness gets into the backline, but it's not going to be enough. The shock blasts rain down, and Samba, there's nothing you can do here. It is just Pleta having a field day, and now the resets come in. That should be an ace, and there it is. The first 5 kills for DRX, and they may be the only 5 that are required this game. Yeah.
For Brion, like that was rough.
And they got hit by a bunch of poke to start it off as well. I mean, I think that this is exactly the scenario that DRX were looking for, as I don't know how this happened. The Baron was just taken. Polo's just going to die to Frog.
I was talking about picture-in-picture. Frog gives his life for the good of the colony.
There we go.
He dies. He gets 2 teleports.
Just straight up flatline like we were dead, and then we're going to be revived in the direction of DRX very aggressively towards the end. That arrow is going to hit, as did all the spears. And And Dragon's Descent has to be used very defensively here from Youngjae. Right now, it's feeling a little bit like the Spacing Guild, and I'm just waiting on a spaceship.
Oh my god.
All right, Pleta goes in, does find a headbutt onto Morgan, but it's the turret that they really want. Yahoo is looking to push Polo out of here, who's not finding a flank at all. And Bro just still haven't quite...
oh, I love the optimism.
They've just got to throw something. Find some sort of Hail Mary. As, all right, in comes Polo. He's going to find the angle. Youngjae has thrown fire somewhere, and there's the flash forward. He connects the quickness towards Frog, and then groups up with his team so that they can all stand on their Nexus turrets while they explode. As all of this poke rains down, and there's absolutely nothing that the Bros can do about it. Look at these turrets melt. Yahoo decides he'll spend an auto attack on the Rakan. He's going to go down as well. Fate also just relegated to his fountain. Sponge goes golden, and that is going to be that. DRX take game number 1 throughout the majority of it. So I'm looking forward to Bros perhaps like just doing a few more things.
Definitely feels better to play Kai'Sa when you already have this much setup. Bloodhouse Rakan should come as a no-brainer. You have Engage already.
And they could utilize it to go in, find some team fights, find some action, make something happen. Let's do it. Let's jump into the Rift for game number 2.
I don't think Brion is lacking in that department.
Absolutely
So
not.
really, they might be the winner, and have been all along.
That was very bromantic of you.
I mean, I'm leading into it, Atlas. Gotta do something.
We'll make a bro lever out of you.
The bromantic comedy, a completely new genre of movie.
Love Bractually.
Third might be, what do you call it? Freljord. Freljord seems cool as well.
I feel like Freljord seems a little bit boring in my mind. Although I do often... Okay, that is a lot... That's just a solo kill. Okay, Morgan is just going to kill Frog. Is it Vandal City?
Well, not because Nara's prehistoric, so
or is he kind of like Encino Man, like he was thawed in Vandal City?
As we're just taking a look here, Frog doesn't hit the W. Like, that would have been enough time for him, because that means that, you know, Morgan doesn't have the time to do all that before he times out.
Wait.
So, big
Shyvana can
leader
get
for
dragons?
This is what, like, the second dragon we've seen as Shyvana get.
Going for more that tanky route that we've seen cropping up more and more as Fate taking a fair bit of damage. Nice use of Valkyrie to say no to any action here. And that will be that. Maybe he can pick up the package.
Proactive dragoning?
There we go.
Sponge?
Well, that is what Sponge is going to do. He's going to utilize it, gets the burnout out. That's going to help him take this down pretty quickly. Youngjae going to move in as Nature's Grasp is looking for an angle. There is no Corki in sight though, and there is the quickness from Pleta to come on through here as Morgan. Decent number. There's the ulti out from Teddy, and everyone just bails on the situation. Frog tries to get thrown into the wall, but he is able to mitigate it very nicely. And that is just 3 grubs taken. Meganar now active and has teleport up and available, but this is just a Drake being taken here by DRX. And it's looking like Bro are going to do that give Dragon hope for the best strategy. We do know that that isn't necessarily the greatest of strategies based on what we saw in the last game. Will they try and find an angle? Will they try and find a fight is the question. Dragon's Descent comes out. That is going to be the answering ultimate here from Youngjae as they look for the Dragon. Pretty squishy is Sponge as the Hyperprocs do come in. Polo not going to quite find the engage that they're looking for though as Pleta's thrown around like a ragdoll. The Killer Instinct into the backline, but Pleta survives! And Samba not going to be so lucky. Sponge is going to breathe on him, takes down the Kai'Sa, and that was a bit of a whoopsie there from the Bros.
That's the extra resistances, Atlas!
Oh,
that's the 2 dragons right there!
That's what I was thinking that whole time, was if only they had denied those couple of extra resistances. Is that Shyvana doesn't look that terrible at this point in time. Sponge getting the job done as he can Dragon Descent over this wall. He is going to come on in. Polo crashing down, Extendo Beam going to connect there as well, and Polo, he's very dead. See what DRX can get off the back end of this one as 1 minute until this Dragon does come up, and that is going to be sole point here for DRX. Complete monopoly on the dragons, and this time they even have the dragon. As Fate moving back into the mid lane, will be able to clear that one out.
Proc and TP actually on the ward there in the banana brush.
Yeah. This dragon is actually pretty dangerous as well, does a fair bit of damage as now that teleport is coming in. Nature's Grasp is going to connect as Pleta looking for an angle, but Polu gonna have to try and crash his way out of this one. Rockets are going to miss as Teddy and Frog trying to fight this one out again. Samba just dives in, and this time it's Frog that just barely survives. Another dragon is gonna go over to DRX, and bro, they just can't quite find the team fights today.
Really worked hard on that one and just end up mattering too much.
Samba actually approaching the wave here, not sure about that one, but able to supercharge out of the grand entrance. Won't keep his turret alive though.
It feels very weird that that is the second turret taken this game.
Top side of the map alongside Fate here, and I do sound a little confused. It's because this game is not necessarily doing things that we are led to expect. In games like this, often, okay, well, there is going to be an engage onto Young Jay, throws down the ulti. He's able to phase rush his way out of there. And that is going to be some buttons pressed and not too much else found. Speaking of which, button pressed, not very much found. As Morgan does have teleport once again, and there is the descent. Fair bit of damage there as the boom boom from the Shyvana is coming out, but bro are damaging the dragon, and they will secure it! Oh, they've denied the soul as now that is a long trip for Young Jay to take, and he is going to be able to get out of there. That is finally a killer instinct being named somewhat correctly from Samba. And bro just want to fight Chronicler. They did it.
So side lanes aren't real. Bot lane turret's still up.
Well, Morgan could be in trouble here. Does hit the Mega Gnar though. It's Teddy. He's thrown down the ultimate, but Samba's position is phenomenal. Teddy skates away. Samba tries to flash after him, and it's a double kill with an extendo beam from Teddy to just straight up end the fight.
And that looks amazing. It started off so well for bro.
That was gonna be the bro fight, and then all of a sudden, pop goes the front line. I wouldn't have asked you if I already knew.
Okay, well then
kind of
yes.
like the arcane quest.
Yes. No, it's
okay, yes?
It's a good carry champion, yeah. Has been known to carry
absolutely
some team
fantastic.
fights. It's stellar, really.
Nature is now grasping. Frog is going to find Polo here as well, who can't really do anything, but the Shyvana just explodes. It's a big Gnar onto Teddy. The wallop is good as well, but Yehu is still an 80 carry. He's still in the fight, and he's still getting the work done, and Morgan is just going to vacate. The dragon was secured, though, by the bros. Polo, I feel, is always looking for an engage angle, but now he's possibly going to get engaged on. Grand entrance does come in. The bros just stand strong, and they're going to look for some poke angles. Sponge throws an E the wrong direction. Morgan is so terrifying, he even mind controls Sponge. Polu is going to burn him down, and now Frog is doing battle with Young Jay, but they've lost their jungler. Now Frog's on the wrong side of the rift. The bros have bamboozled them. They've broken them, and Polu finds the engage. Teddy is going to have to look for it. It's a lot of damage with these rockets. Fate has really got to find some of these. Samba doesn't have the ulti anymore. And Frog is dashing away. These extendo beams, terrifying.
Oh, they TP. They're committing. This is all or nothing, Atlas.
And Morgan, look at that Naba. It is beautifully positioned. The Magnet Storm is exactly the same as Sponge. Just has to get out of there. Frog, he knows that there's going to be no way out. He has to go all in instead. And he is going to be destroyed. So the only real tank is going to be obliterated. And so is the dragon. The woes of Shyvana will continue, I guess. As we are here in game number 2, there is no more smite. And the bros are looking for a Baron. Teddy's trying to be annoying. The rockets are flying in. The knock up onto Polo. He does take a fair bit of damage.
I don't know. This is risky.
It is.
Definitely get the Nash. And yeah, the health bars are getting too low. They might get a Fur Dragon as well. Atlas Hextech.
Oh my god. The triple stack of the Electro Dragon. That is so powerful. And they are just going to wander on over there. Sponge still dead for another 17 seconds. And then whenever Samba hits these Ws, it's going to be even worse. As Nature's Grasp going to come in. CC
Pleta
there by
on the
Frog.
flank.
As Samba is able to flash out of the way of Pleta here, finds himself at least a Void Seeker. Disengage cone comes down as the Bros trying desperately to get out. It looks like Young Jay not going to be so lucky, and there's also the Corki going down. It's a double kill for the Zeri as the Bros are scattering. House is going to connect. That might buy them a little bit of space. But Morgan, oh, he's going to have to be an absolute hero. Another Void Seeker to come in, but it doesn't really do much. And it's Polu, the hero, for his lord. He will sacrifice himself for his knight.
Bro, no, Atlas! They're gonna TP and try to end in mid!
Wait, is this game over, Chronicler?
It might be!
It can't be Brover!
Not like this!
Not like this!
Not
There's
like
still
this.
a minute and a half on the Hextech goal that I was promised by the team as Morgan. He is going to at least do what he can here as Samba. He goes golden, that's well played. He does have the killer instinct as well, a fair bit of AoE, but that is a complete whiff on the Gnar from Morgan. His DRX goes off, but I think he's still, no, not dead yet. Finally, he does go down. Teddy's able to lock that one up as Fate not going to be able to protect the Nexus, and it's a 2-0 for DRX. And he did do some nice damage there as well, and shoutouts to Sponge actually, getting a fair bit done himself.
Thank you very much, guys. This is Jason for the POG interview translation, and today we are here joined by Sponge and Teddy after their very long-awaited victory. Congratulations on the win, guys. Thank you. Sponge, you successfully ended a long losing streak. How do you feel about the victory? Very happy that we finally ended our losing streak, and I was feeling very sorry for my fans that we were not able to deliver any victory so far, and finally we'll get to do a fan meet after a win today as well. I'm so glad. What about you, Teddy? Yeah. Very long losing streak, you know, and then game number 1, Nidalee hard carried, so it was a very easy game. Thank you, Sponge. Teddy, given the long losing streak, the team's morale and confidence might have been a little bit low. How did you manage to kind of lift the team spirit? Yeah, because we continuously lost over and over, you know. We kind of lost confidence because we were very sure that we know how to play on stage, but after, you know, consecutive losses, we were unsure about our play. We were very uncertain, so whenever we even though have a lead, we were not being proactive. But with this win, I think we can boost our morale. Sponge, in the first game, you confidently picked Nidalee after seeing the opponent pick Shyvana. Tell us more about it. This is something I prepared starting from the scrims, you know. I think Nidalee is a really good counter to Shyvana because Nidalee can disrupt Shyvana's early game or early farming. And even if she cannot really successfully pull that off, still Nidalee has a really good matchup up against Shyvana, just in general. So I thought it would be a really good kind of counter pick into Shyvana. And we thought Ash's Hawkshot was also a really good tool to enable Nidalee. Do you also think so? I think, was that part of your plan? Yeah, it was very helpful. And we have a SPO and the upside down NGE. Now it looks correct. Sponge, are you happy with the fence sign? Yeah, absolutely. Also, we saw a 4 stack on the poke comp, 4 poke comp on the side of DRX. How did you come up with this composition? Throughout the draft phase, we somehow ended up with the 4 poke champions. Frog was very confident in Jay's top, so we had 4 poke comp in our hands. And Sponge, you mentioned that it's fine even if Nidalee cannot disrupt Shyvana's early farm, but you actually managed to bully Shyvana. So you went in for the Radcam still. How did you come up with that idea? So I already had information coming from the Hawk shot from Ash, so I knew she was just finishing Raptors and she was going for the red buff, so I thought it would be the perfect timing. And then in the second game, you picked Shyvana yourself. What advantage did you see that led you to pick Shyvana? Considering our own tier list of the meta champions, I think you need to have Nidalee plus something else to stop Shyvana, but they didn't really have that option, so we went in for the early block in Shyvana. And then with that Shyvana performance, you secured her first win in this summer split of LCK. Shyvana has had a really good win rate in the LPL, but not as much in the LCK. What do you think that is? I think ulting forward kind of is the her biggest enemy, you know? In addition to that, I think compared to the LPL teams, LCK teams are more prone to kind of counter or deal with the Shyvana strategy. As a teammate, Teddy, how did you like his Shyvana play? He was chunking down the opponent's health with his breath, but well, after that game, there were other players mentioning that Shyvana isn't that good, but I personally thought that Shyvana is pretty viable right now. So we also had a Zeri-Kai'Sa matchup. Zeri generally has a good win rate against Kai'Sa, but why did you first pick Zeri? So there were not a lot of AD carry options left available, and looking at the comp, I thought I really had to play the DPS, you know, AD carries, the hard carry AD carries, and Zeri was one of them. And then in that game, we were able to witness the Fed Zeri performance. So how did you turn the game around? Bro actually had a lead at the situation. So Plata managed to kind of open up the team fight, and then I thought I should skate forward to, you know, play out this team fight. And then it kind of worked well. Yeah, I mean, prior to this play, you guys were actually in a very rough spot because Bro was having a Baron and they were pushing mid. I mean, I saw Kai'Sa kind of approaching the tier 2 turret on the mid lane, so I thought that was the angle for us to kind of punish, and we all kind of were in the same page and managed to go for that team fight. And who makes a shot call for that kind of situation? So we were like, this is not the perfect situation for us to open up a fight, so we have to be really cautious when opening up the team fight. So usually it's coming from the support and jungles. And then your next opponent is BNK Fear X. How do you plan to prepare for that match? And what are your resolutions? Starting this week, I wish we can start off a winning streak because we just ended our losing streak. So we will do our best to make it happen. Yeah, we just, you know, end our losing streak, so now it's gonna be a winning streak for us. We will do our best. And this will be the end of the interview from DRX POGs, and back to the space. Thank you.